suppose my fist is the earth and this is the sun, it is throwing sunlight over it. Only some part of the sunlight is intercepted by the earth while the other is passing by it. So I had to find a way how this sunlight which is passing by it be redirected on the face having the night. Next slide. To redirect the light, the earth would I would possibly have to use a curved reflector or a flat mirror. These two pictures shown over here were my first success towards 24/7 sun. As you see in this picture, there is a chemistry manual and there is a ball which is representing the earth, and there is a source of light which is throwing light over it. As you see, one part of the ball is lit while the other has a dark portion. While here I have used a reflector which was made on the proportions of the ball by my calculations, and you see that both the faces of the ball are lit. Next slide please. About the reflector. The kind of the reflector that is to be used is, it should be very shiny so that most of the sunlight that it receives will be reflected back on the earth. It should be of the most appropriate size because time, energy, man and money labor and money would have gone into making of this reflector, and it cannot go waste. So it has to be it cannot be of a larger size or a smaller one because then it would become ineffective. If a metal is to be used to make the reflector, then it should have a large coefficient of expansion so that you send into the space a smaller mass of it, and then it expands over there and attains the appropriate size, and it should be in the shape of a ring. You would come to know why. Next. What would be the material of the reflector? Some of the materials that can be used to build the reflector are glass, lamp reflectors, that is the one which are used in automobile headlights. Then the collapsible illuminator reflector, that is the one which are used reflector. The reflector would have to be placed such that it experiences the minimum possible force of gravitation. In other words, the reflector would have to be placed at a distance where it would need a very less amount of orbital velocity to counter-effect the Earth's force of gravitation. Next slide. What would be the size of the reflector? For determining the size of the reflector, two rays have to be kept in mind. The one passing through the equator, and the other passing through the poles. That is, the one reaching the equator and one reaching the poles. This is possible. This is because the equator and the poles are the two extremes where the light should necessarily reach. Next slide. The reflector's position with respect to the sun. As the Earth revolves its orbit, then if the reflector's position with respect to the sun is not changed, then it would remain over here and its purpose won't be solved. And after 6 months, it would come over here and probably be obstructing the sun's rays from reaching the earth, and so the position of the reflector with respect to the sun would have to be changed. Next slide. Distance of the reflector from the earth. I have used the formula of orbital velocity so as to find the distance where the reflector would experience the least possible gravitational force. In terms of copper wire, there is glue, and this is the foil, and this is the wire cutter. First I cut this cardboard in a ring shape such that the Earth's diameter is equal to the diameter of the internal circle. Then I cut it into 4 pieces so that each of them can be bent to a certain focal length or a radius of curvature, because the whole ring as one cannot be bent. Then I applied glue and stuck these 5 of these copper wire pieces on it, and so that if I bend the copper wire along with it, the cardboard will also bend. And this is the ring after I have bent. And then if you can see, then these are the 2 long copper wire which I have used to hold these 4 pieces together. Next step. Then these are some applications. This guy from Regal Voida, an engineering student in Arizona State University, Tucson, US, is investigating the possibility of transforming just a small patch of the Mars's surface by reflecting sunlight using orbiting mirrors. Next slide. Thank you. Hope you understood what I was. Normally, what would happen is that only one face of the earth would be having day. While using the reflector, you see that the other side of the earth also has day. You may argue that the reflector size is too large, but I have used such a big reflector because in this case the bulb is diverging the rays towards the reflector, while in this space the sun is at a very far distance from the earth and its size with respect to the earth is too large, so the rays which are coming towards the earth are almost a parallel beam, and so if the reflector would have to be take place in space, it would be so small. Let me compare it. You see the difference. If they are diverging rays, and this is if it is a parallel beam. And there are some more reflectors which I have made. This is a concave reflector, and here it is a diverging one. The picture in the procedure was showing this reflector. I opened it. You see that it is curved. This part is curved using wires, and the whole thing is put into one using longer wires, both on the external perimeter and the internal. Now you can ask me questions. If this is the earth and here it is the sun, and I place a reflector over here, then the sun's rays would be passing from over here and here. There would be some more rays. So this region would probably be a shadow region. So you should not waste money, material in building this part. So that is the reason why there is a circle which has a diameter equal to the diameter of the earth.